Hello friends, this is Nancy May, the Handy Scandy here for Whimsy Stamps. Thanks for joining me today. It has been a hot minute since I have put up a video. I've been very sick and I thank you for your patience, but today we have a quick and relatively simple last minute gift giving idea. So you can see all of the items on the screen, all the products that I've used in this particular project, but I saw this, it was inspired by something that I saw on Instagram, and I just kind of winged it, if you will. So I have used the stitched, wait a minute, what are they called? Pierced and stitched circle dies, and I used the 3.5 inch die. And I have several solid white circles, and then you can see I've used the pattern paper as well, and it's the Blurry Flurries paper pad is what I used. And I'm just hand cutting, just like rolling hills, if you will, and trying to fix up some of those not so even hills, and just kind of looking at both sides and sizing them up and seeing which ones I like the best, and gluing that kind of stormy winter sky to the top, and then the bottom of the white circle of course becomes the snowy hill. So you can do this in any size circle that you want, and it doesn't have to be a circle. It can be a square, it can be a hexagon. You know, you do what you want to do and just adjust the sizes and things. And you know, you might have to do a little bit of math, but it works out in the end. Now I have these strips cut, and these will ultimately be the base that kind of creates the rocker. They are 1 inch wide, and these are cut at about 7 inches long. Again, you size up what you need. I would say make it longer rather than shorter, and you can always trim it down if you need to. So like I said, they're 1 inch wide. I have them trimmed at about 1/4 of an inch. I folded it in, and then I just created those little spikies on the sides just by cutting a zigzag, and super simple. And then you saw that I used that scoring tool to kind of curl it a little bit, and kind of bends those fibers pardon me. And I'm just being patient with this as I glue down pardon me, each of those little tabs, and kind of hold them in place until they adhere, and then I will do the other side. Now the half circles that I stamped on, those will become the front of the ornament, and it'll all make sense as it comes together. But like I said, this is what becomes the, I call it a rocker. I don't know what you would call it. It becomes, if it were a square, it would be the base, I guess, or the bottom of the box or the bag. But there, now you can see how it works with that half circle on the front. And you can use any sentiment that you want. You can decorate it much more than this. You can add bows and foliage and all kinds of things. But I'm just kind of holding it in place until it adheres. And then you can see that I have all those sweet die cuts already die cut, and in my little containers, have them separated so I can find them easily. And again, I had all of my products on at the very beginning, and they will be linked and listed downstairs in the description box, so you can find them pretty easily. But again, you can use anything. It doesn't have to be a winter scene. It can be a snowman. You can stamp something out and fussy cut it out. Snowmen are relatively easy to fussy cut. You know, they're just circles, really. You know, and again, it can be whatever you want. It can be a poinsettia. It can These are just suggestions, if you will. So I'm just kind of pulling things out of my little bin there that just kind of please me in the moment. I don't have a plan. I'm just pulling it together. Now, for whatever reason, I wanted that flagpole. I don't know why I felt like that flagpole needed to be part of my little winter scene, but there it is. It was part of the die set that I think is great. And so it's just, I don't know, there are a lot of elements in that particular die set. That's the Slimline Scenic Countryside die set. Lots of elements, little topiaries and streetlights. There's trees and several different types of buildings, and yeah, love it. And then so on the on the front, I'm adhering the deer to the back of the front panel. Now I do put together a second one. I go much faster, but I put it together a little bit differently, and to me that makes more sense. So once I get them adhered, then I take my little hole punch and I put my lace through, and I put it through the front. That way it creates that nice little loop on the front. There we go. I don't think either side of this kind of tag holder looks bad. I just prefer that. It kind of looks like a necktie to me. And then I put a tie at the top, and again, you can do those however you want, and they're super, super cute. Now I have these nuggets, these little chocolate nugget candies, excuse me, and I'm just quickly adhering a little strip of paper to coordinate with whatever pattern paper I put on the back of the ornament. And so they are 1 inch by 3 inches. So if you cut your pattern paper into 1 inch strips, because it's a 6 by 6 pattern paper, then you cut that 6 inch strip in half, and then you've got 2 strips for 2 pieces of candy. Pardon me. And it's very simple. You can see I'm not going to any trouble. It just coordinates those little candies with the package that you put them into. That's all. And I thought 3 would be enough, but truly they hold 4. And so I went back and I did 1 more. And again, depending on the size, it can hold however much you want to put in there. But look how adorable that is. You can see it sitting there on the right. Now here's where I slow it down a little bit to show you how I made kind of those saw teeth little tabs. And I'm literally just cutting in and out, kind of like a fishtail banner, how we would cut those ends, similar to that. And I do it down both sides. And then again, I take that score tool and I just curve that paper a little bit, just kind of bend it and break down those fibers some. And here is where, like I said, I did this one a little bit different in terms of gluing on the scene. And I have, excuse me, this trio of trees from the Trees Assortment dies, and just adhering them down and putting my little house next to them. And again, I'm just gluing things down in whatever way that pleases my eye. And here I am again. I have that the rocker piece. I'm just going to keep calling it the rocker because it has to have a name, and I don't know what it is. Now these were a little bit long. I think these were closer to 7 inches, so I did have to trim them down so that they would fit my my particular project. But again, you know, if you have to trim, that's okay. Numbers are hard for me. Math is not easy, but you know, I wing it a lot, and things tend to work out. And just like I adhered my scene to the background, I'm adhering the scene to the foreground as well before I actually adhere it to the rocker. So I feel like that went so much smoother. And I'm teaching myself how to do this as I go. This is not something I've done before, but we're working it out. So again, I take my hole punch to create that hole. Now if you have grommets and you want to put a little grommet in there, you certainly could do that. Because if your candy gets heavy, I guess in theory it could pull the paper, but I've used the sturdy cardstock, and there I added that little trim. And again, you could put extra little tags on there, you could put charms, you could put pretty much whatever you want. But these are just simple little last minute gifts, especially like I'm thinking for the office. You know, maybe I'll take them to work and be simple little gifts, just something thoughtful, letting them know that I thought of them. But, you know, at work, we're not allowed to give expensive gifts and things like that. There's always a dollar limit. And so I think this is kind of thoughtful. But there it is with the candy in it. And then I have the blue one and 2 purples. And I think they're just adorable. And again, you could adhere whatever you want to the front. You could decorate it up. But there you can see down inside. They're not huge, but they're just cute, and they hold just enough to be like a thinking of you gift. So this was the first one that we put together, and you can kind of see down inside. I have like some sticky things on the back there, but they wiped right off. And this was the first one I made, and the rocker was a little too small. I think it was only like a 4-inch strip. So you can see it doesn't go up near as high on the sides, but it's holding those 4 pieces of candy just fine. So I had a good time with this. Yeah, it was fun to find inspiration on Instagram and then be able to actually make it into projects. And Whimsy has so many different things that you could use to make these your own. So many different types of pattern paper or background stamps, or you could do gel plate prints. You could do whatever you want. Sky's the limit, guys. Something like this, totally make it your own. But I thank you for spending some time with me on this last minute Christmas gift. This will be my last Christmas video for the season. And go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe, use those links to go shop, and meet us over on all of our social media platforms. And until next time, y'all, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy for Whimsy Stamps. Mwah. I'm out.